Well, looks like I might have got all the buttons pushed correctly. I can see myself on the television. Not the television, the computer over here. Live chat's taking place over here on the side. I can see Lynn McCurdy, Ben's Model Railroad, Ken Cole, Dave with Caboose 1973, Daniel Dearborn, Gadget Clerk, Longview and Kelso Railroad. Looks like Finroad has said we're live. Somebody's over there watching, and we're in the Europe area. So I can take these things off because nobody's talking back to me, and I can tell that my voice is working. So those are hot, hot. I got to put my glasses on so I can read everything. I've never done this before. What should I do? I should probably look up over there. I've never done this before, so this is my very first time. I've watched Ray Bobley, Robobel. I've always blew his name over at Beauville and Newton. He's part of that Sidetrack Sunday crew, and I've been on that once, and I've seen it a few times, and it's amazing how you can sit there and watch all this. Somebody's out there in West Fargo, North Dakota, Ratsbird. Hello, everybody. Nathan Fivechine, Not Gavin, Gregor Jones, Memphis, Tennessee. Dave, Hoover, Caboose 1973. Lynn's over here. Good to see you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Boy, the little chat is just a going. Traction tires from Gadget Clerk. If I ever need traction tires, I've looked those up on the eBay. I'd like to try to find a way to just get an O-ring that would fit it. You can get it at an auto parts store. Once I do some research, when I run out of my own stash that I've ordered from eBay, then I'll try to source them locally. Ron Moen, hello. Sam Reed, hi. Pete's Pretty Good Trains, hello. Minnesota, up here in the motherland. Longview and Kelson, Oregon. Cocosing Valley Railroad. I'm doing well, sir. Hey there, Ian Farrell, Not Gavin, Massachusetts. Ohio with Cocosing Valley Railroad. Hi, Lynn. Lynn's been out there traveling around 3,000 miles. Lynn McCurdy, the High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club. Just visited with him here a couple of weeks ago. Ben's Model Railroad out in Pennsylvania. I guess you guys can probably see the chat just as much as I can, can't you? I'm only doing this with a simple YouTube live. I don't have that fancy StreamYard. I started to research that, and oh my God, I'm like, I wanted to make this as absolutely simple as I possibly could. Hello, Paul Burns. The first time just to see how it goes. I look kind of washed out here. I got enough light on me to choke out a horse. I probably don't even know if I need all these. That's a little dark. So Steve Gerber, Sugar Creek, Ohio. D. Wayne, Missouri. Ian Farrell wants to know if I've seen a YouTube post of the Marx engines. Dennis Dews here. Hello, Dennis. The summertime, I've had a hard time keeping up with doing model train videos. You guys might have noticed it's been getting fewer and farther in between. Last summer, when I was doing a video a week and trying to fix RVs, that's what I do during the daytime, the week time in the summertime. And it is my time management skills and energy level is not what it used to be, even from when I was 50. So then, bit of trivia for you. Tomorrow, August 14th, I'll be celebrating my 55th birthday. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I just want to quit with them now. Everyone's just more and more painful. 21 was a great birthday. 25, because your auto insurance rates went down a little bit. You could rent a motel room, and it's just all downhill from there. Enrique Morel, I hope I said that right. Morales from South Texas. So thank you guys. CNDCTR 111 from Rhode Island. Thank you, Lynn. 55th birthday. Thank you, Dave. Happy birthday. Yeah. Sam Reed is having one coming up here. Jay Pinkerton. One of the first questions that I seen posted in there before I got fired up, Lynn McCurdy asked me, where do I get my information at when I'm researching about these things? Well, when I pull out a model that I want to work on, and I'll be working on it for a while, and then, get a little bored. So then I'll start Googling stuff about the particular model. the manufacturer, the if it's a prototype of the specific locomotive, then I'll start looking up information on that and just try to find the information that's on the Google machine out there. And a lot of times it varies some. So I might not be 100% on, but just fleece the internet, find interesting bits of tidbits, and try to take the words and make them my own. So that way I'm not, the English teacher back in high school told us don't copy word for word when you're making an essay. So I'll read the research and then I'll try to make it a short, quick, little interesting story, I guess. Hello, Jim Ciancio. Hope I probably blew that. I can blow about every damn name, except for Norwegian names. I can get those and Polish names. Once you learn to say one Polish last name, you can say them all. DM Big Guy One, thank you. The old Google machine, yeah. Markland Zeit. I still haven't figured out where you live at. Are you across the pond, or are you from across the pond and then you're over here someplace? So I know there's some guys out in Europe, or the Eurasian continent, that follow along. One guy said that it's getting close to midnight out there. So he's sitting up late to watch this happen over here. So that's fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much for how you follow along and have been supporting the channel for the year and 9 months that I've been up now. It's been a fantastic, fantastic journey. AE Stout wants to know about how to quarter steam drive assemblies. I have yet to do that yet. I've not had any wheels that were out so far, or were even loose, to tell you the truth. I know that the S gauge, American Flyers, the Lionel stuff, there's presses, special tools that they make where you can, take the wheels off and quarter them back up. With the HO stuff, I have just never had one that's been out really bad. Some of the drive linkages have been loose a little bit, and there's hours spent trying to time them up a little bit. But the holes for the quartering were have always been on. I would like to try to track down some quartering tools for the S and O gauge stuff to have in my collection, perhaps this winter when I can settle down and have a lot more time to dig on the eBay and get these specialty tools, and then I can find some stuff that needs to be quartered. Rails of Western Washington, hello. Joe Radar, Black Central Railroad, thank you for the birthday wishes. Paul Burns from Penn Salem, Pennsylvania. I'd like to work on a GG1 locomotive too. I don't have a single one of those yet in my collection. I'd like to add them in. Yeah, and I think that a River Rossi one would be easy enough to obtain. I know that the Lionel ones, there would have to be a liver or perhaps a kidney sold off on the black market to be able to afford one of those, because they're pretty fancy in those O gauges. So, oh, good. Jim says I got his name right. The firewood, I gave it away. I called up people. Well, I didn't call them up. I put an ad on Marketplace and said, free firewood. I'll cut it. You show up and pick it up and get it out of here. I didn't want to mess with firewood anymore. I've sorted and split 9 cords of it about 4 years ago. That is so much work. Oh my goodness. So I don't want to mess with firewood too much. Jay Pinkerton said he's done quartering. No fancy tool. Eyeball it. Oh, sure. Yeah. You can use a jig, or you can eyeball it. If you can tell what 90 degrees looks like. Ben's Malvero says he likes my new layout. Yeah, I got it back in the back there. It's just an end-to-end, a point to point. My dream is, of course, like everybody else's dream, is to have a lot larger layout. And where I'm at, I don't have a house. I'm actually like a tiny house dweller. So the 190 square feet is our main house. This cabin here that we're in is 12 by 20. I'm only in about a 12 by 12 portion of it, and the other portion's got the bathroom and it's got the laundry facilities in it. Kind of like Ray Bobel. He sits in his laundry room and does repair videos too. I've seen a few of them. So 2 rail fans, thank you very much. Rails of Western Washington, thank you. Doing something. Stan Reed wants to know if I do Bachmann ON30 stuff. I got to tell you, the experience that I've had with Bachmann It's not been well. All the split gears and all the you don't know what's a good year to get, or I know the stuff from the 70s that have brass helical gears and they've got worm gear drive lines in them. I've seen a few pictures of them on the eBay. That would be something that I would like to get a hold of. But these starter set Bachmans and the Bachmann Spectrums, they have just not got that split gear problem taken care of. I understand that the P2Ks, when I did a video on that E6, a lot of them suffer from split gears too. So it makes it very nervous to try to get that stuff if you, of course, can't fix it up. Jay Pinkerton wants to know what was the hardest repair video I've done. Um, I'm going to say that that last Lionel I did that had the reversing solenoid or the E unit, only known in Lionel world, because the fingers were so bad and those the way those units are put together, they're pressed together in a jig, and it's very difficult to get the O gauge reversing units taken apart and get in there and work on them, solder them back together, and get them put back together. It just takes hours to do it. So none of the HO ones have really been, very difficult. Some of them, it's hard to figure out how to get them open, how to start working on them. The River Aussies, like that Berkshire, I kind of had to watch another feller's channel and just to see where the two screws are at to get the shell off because they hide them. They hid one underneath a dome, steam dome lid, and the other one was just right alongside the chimney, but it blended in so well that I couldn't even hardly tell that that was a screw to take it out. It was as big as a normal screw. I just completely overlooked it. John Davies out there in England. Hello, nice to see we're getting clear out over there. Rails of Western Washington, do the Athearn gears fit on P2K? After I put that out, a lot of guys sat there and mentioned how P2Ks were almost identical to Athearn stuff. It did look very similar, but on the end of the wheels, the axle shaft stuck out a little bit farther than I would say I've ever seen any of the axle shafts that are made like that for Athearn with the brass bushing blocks on the inside of the wheels. And, because they went out and they held up the side frames. So I'm not 100% on that. A lot of times I got to do a lot of research on what will and will not work. I think not Gavin. Do I think $30 is a decent price for a custom painted out in blue box? I've noticed that a lot of times when people custom paint a model, that the resale price goes way down. They want to custom paint their own, but they don't want somebody else's custom paint, whether it's a really good one or not. If you like the paint scheme, and if the pictures are good enough that you can tell that it wasn't done with a brush by a 12-year-old, $30 is a heck of a good price for an Athearn blue box, I believe. AE Stewed. Yeah. He has got a Bachmann Plus 44 that he's replacing with 3D printed parts. I know there's a lot of guys out there that have been 3D printing stuff. I've never ordered anything yet. I haven't really had to. I'd like to look into that. I know there's different kinds of resins that people can use to do it. Some are harder than others. I know that there's a place out there called Thingiverse where you can get the files that everybody makes and they share to be able to print them on your own. I guess I'll have to look at some videos about guys that have 3D printed stuff this fall and winter when I get some time. And then I can, maybe do a video with some guy's axles that he made. That'd be kind of really great. C and D CTR 111. Yeah, I've tried to do a video a week for a year and 9 months. There's 72 videos that are out. This would be the 73rd. So I tried, and it's very time consuming. Usually 2 days it'll take to finally decide to sober up and sit down and work on a train, and then another day to edit it. One day to work it, take it apart. One day to edit it, put it up. So a lot of time takes on there. JS collects S gauges. There's my I one part of a curve. There's anything. Yep. Steam locos. Do I think steams are harder to work on than diesel locos? Daniel Dearborn. If I would have had a better StreamYard, I'm gonna have to learn how to use that. Then I can highlight the comments that I'm answering to. I do not find steam or diesel to be any harder to work on. They all seem to kind of have the same type of drives. If the valve gearing on a steamer is out, or if you try to take it apart and then neglect to take good pictures and put it back together, then you've got yourself a little bit of a hassle there. I find the steam locomotives a lot more satisfying to work on because when they're all said and done and you get to mechanically see the thing doing, oh goodness, it's just so neat. Like a lot of these guys that have a lot of guys will reach out to me on the Facebook, on the Classic Model Trains Facebook page. They tell me that they've got their original sets from the 70s and 65s and 58s. And that's amazing that some of you guys out there that have been into this, or you're not the kind of person that, oh, I haven't used this in a year, get rid of it. To be able to keep your original childhood sets, that's absolutely amazing. I've been able to recreate some of them that I've had, purchase other models that I had at the time, but I'm not able to do that. Adjusting a reversing unit can be fun. Carl Weisel says, yeah, there's a lot to those. And the more you work on them, of course, the better a feller gets. So they have good stuff. Cold Steel Rails, been watching me for quite some time. Great videos. Built a Mantua Tyco metal Mikado. Yeah, those Mikados, they're nice. I've seen those kits, they're from the 60s. Always kind of wanted to get one and then do like a Christmas train, paint it red and do the white and the gold highlights on it and get a little Santa Claus hanging out of it. And yeah, some of them 60s Tyco locos, those steamers and stuff. And they were nice stuff. I don't understand why people hassle Tyco so much. I mean, I got over here on this wall over here, I'm trying to collect every Tyco locomotive that they made. Now, I don't need 4 Pacifics, and the only difference between them is the tender that says Santa Fe but the individual road names, if the locomotive's got a completely different paint scheme, I want to have it. Now, some of them run, some of them I don't know, but I know that I can make them all run. And I've got a box full of Bachmanns, and I bet you that I can't make any one of them run because of the split gear issues. You go, well, I'll take the trucks out of this one, split. Oh, I'll get the wheels out of it. Nope. So Bachmann's Lifelikes with them old meat grinder motors in them. I never heard about them having split gear problems, back in the 70s and 80s, but I'm sure a few of them did. Tyco will have some split wheels. I know that. Glue 'em and put a traction tire on it, holds it together, and away it goes. John Davies wants to know if I'm planning a video of my new layout. I had my new layout, portions of it shown in a couple of videos right after that, and I've literally not hardly done anything to it since I built it to do an update. I got a bunch of models that I was building, and that takes about a week worth of painting to sit there and detail them in and make them look all nice. And I tried that road system from Walthers, and although it looks neat, I don't like it. So now, I got to take everything off there and paint some roads on and build some sidewalks. So I'm hoping that maybe this fall, when I get some time to actually work on the layout, then I will film a layout update on it. But really all you see of it is just what you see in the videos when I'm running the train at the end of the video. If I found Marx trains to be more reliable than Lionel Edwin's trains, say yes. Yeah. Marx only used about 3 or 4 different motor assemblies that bolt into every dang shell that they've ever had. And the Marx engineers knew how to make stuff. Unfortunately, Marx, it does have a nice following out there. I know Marx guys, and they love it. They'll collect the 6-inch 4-wheel tins and the 4 axle 7-inch. They love them. They absolutely love them. Lionel guys, it's Lionel or it's nothing. That's fine. Collect what you like. I just don't believe in running down anybody else that collects something different. I like Marx. JS out there, do I have an email? If you reach out to me on my Classic Model Trains Facebook page, You can message me on, you can, I guess once you like the page, then you can send me a message and away you go. For some weird reason, people want to go to my personal Facebook page, which is just called Ron Davis. I don't post anything on there. The first post that it says is, hey, I don't post any on here. Go to my Classic Model Trains Facebook fan page, and then we could chat back and forth. But every day there's new friend requests from people for my personal Facebook page. So it's a lot better to just go to the Classic Model Trains fan page on Facebook. You can message me there, and I can answer a lot of personal questions about specific repairs if I know the answer on that one. Here, Jim Ciancio says he's got his father's 51 New York City Lionel set. Oh, it's almost in mint condition. Very nice, Jim. Very nice. John Davies wants to know with 3D printing, could someone print replacements for split gears? I'd have to assume that they could. I haven't seen them, but I know there's guys out there doing it. Hello, Jason Markham. Jim Ciancio, thank you very much. Super chat right there. Oh, wait. Then I read it. Oh, money for beer. Yay. Thank you so much, Jim. So I got to tell you, when I used to be a DJ. I did like a lot of live events, school proms and bar gigs and corporate events. And so I'm used to doing live, stuff in front of people. I'm shy individually on my own, but this is different. But before I hit that button to go live, I had the shakes going on and I was hotboxing a cigarette and pounding the old Mountain Dew here, just trying to settle down and get going. I'm thinking, God, is anybody going to be watching this? Best I can tell, there's 98 people out there right now. Interesting. I've never done this. David Oakley, I'm an HO and Lionel O gauge guy. Marx layout. Oh yeah, sure. Marx layouts. Love it. There's Ray. Hello, Ray. 98, 42 thumbs up. I tried to do it early enough for you, Ray, so that way you could check out an hour early and go and knock out your sidetrack Sunday. So I did it at 5 so we could give you your time slot back. DLT Berkshire, I thought about putting together my beer train. I had some beer cars, then I sold them. No, I guess I although I like to collect, but I don't collect excessively, because if I had more space to display stuff, I would collect them all and have them all up on the wall where we can look at them. But right now there's so many in boxes, and that's what bums me out. So that's why you'll find me, I'll sell them on eBay every once in a while, which helps generate revenue to purchase more stuff for, more repair videos. But they need to run, and I'm not much of a runner guy. I like fixing them the most. A little bit of running, a little bit of switching, but for the most part, yeah, let's get them into the hands of somebody that might run them around. Thanks, Carl Weisel. Thanks, Norman Carey. Says I'm holding it together pretty good. Nisi J has Sidetrack Sunday tonight. Thanks, you bet, Ray. Lynn McCurdy wants to make sure you can get both programs in, Classic Model Trains and Sidetrack Sunday. The Lionel, am I selling the Lionel 671? The Lionel 671, I believe that was that steamer I did for that feller named Norman. It was sent in and it was repaired and sent back to him. So sometimes I'll do repairs like that if I think it'd be an interesting piece that I don't have or I may never acquire because of the price for them all. Some people have reached out to me and I've fixed their stuff and then reship it back to them. But that 671 wasn't mine. Carl Weisel asked that. John's Train sat there and he says that he fixed a Bowser PRR T1 and he's not going to recommend that. Is it this Bowser? Is it difficult to work on, or is it just kind of not, G scales. S. Bree asked that. That G scale was at a children's hospital here in town, and I got referred to it for doing some repair work. I don't run into G hardly at all. If I do, it's that Christmas tree train stuff in the secondhand stores, and then I'm like, I don't need anything real. I don't run into. I know there's a few guys that are local here in town that even though they tell me they live in Billings, they don't go, "Hey, let's go drink a beer together at the second shift and get to do some networking and find more interesting stuff to work on." So it's going to be tough to do some G gauge for me until I can find some out there somewhere to do some more work on. DLT Berkshire wants, did you know that there used to be a narrow steam engine running in my state? No, I did not know that. Do you repair Stephen Martinez? Do I repair HO locomotives? Yes, that's the primary thing I do on the channel. You betcha. Dennis Do, yes, I'm going to be putting up some more eBay trains. I got to get the video put together, and then I've got to get the ad for the eBay there. I got about 4 or 5 that are going to be coming up. Probably for those in September when I can get slowed down a little bit. Those are things. Okay, the Caboose Dave at Caboose 1973 Channel 1. The Bowser T1, as he said, is not an easy one to work on. Are you doing live regularly? CND CTR 111. This is the first time I've done it. I was scared to death to do it because I didn't know if I'd be able to pull it off. And apparently I did. Yeah, I think that we could probably, I mean, I'm not going to do it every week or nothing. I don't have that much to talk about, but I wanted to try it, see how it works. And then we are going to probably put it in the rotation some. Sharp and Flat says he's missing the classic models that are out there. So yeah, I can bring those back. I didn't know how it was going, especially after I started telling everybody who it was at the end. Then it didn't really generate that comment portion, which has a lot to do with how the analytics will work on your channel. If you get a lot of comments on it, or the thumbs up are easy to do, whether you're subscribed or not. Give it a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm pick it up and spread it around more. Comments, of course, the commenters I have out there seem to be about, I'm going to say 50 guys, and there might be a couple gals out there. It's hard. Usernames you can't tell. Consistently, every video they'll comment on. Love it. There's some guys that sit on the side and they watch and they say, "Hey, I've been watching for a year. This is the first time I've commented." I love those too. I answer every comment that I've ever gotten. I've answered it. I used to be able to get on it right away. Here in the summer, it takes me a couple days sometimes to get to it, but I do answer them. It is me typing it out. So, not Gavin. What's the most modern locomotive you own? Modern as in the newest release. Now I feel like I might be a classic model trains, but you got a new. I've got a Walther's mainline GP9 and an SW7 switcher. And I bought these before I started the channel because I wanted to see what new locomotives run like. One, the GP9 or it could be a GP7, is a DC only, and the SW7 switcher is DCC with sound. I wanted to see what I was missing, and so that's why I run with my old DC stuff because they're more reliable. So, Gadget Clerk, thank you very much. Says I'm doing a good job. John Strain saying they actually run smoothly. They're up to 99 people out there watching. This is interesting. Hello, the Plumber 33. You're one of the guys that comments a lot of times. I remember seeing that name up there also. What's my favorite HO locomotive that was difficult to fix but ended up being your favorite after the repair? Coming from Larmo. My favorite locomotive, I have to say, is probably going to be my Tyco Pacific that I converted with an updated CAN motor, and I put a Digitrax Tsunami sound decoder in it. And I love running that one. The whistle on it you can reprogram the whistles in them really easy. And of course, I found the biggest, loudest whistle, and I put enough reverb on it to make it sound like it was whistling through the canyon of the mountains around. And then somebody told me that the whistle sound it's like for a big boy, not something that would be a Pacific. I guess they got kind of a little higher pitched tooty kind of horn, and I put some monster horn sound in it. But my railroad, my rules, I like it. Was that sees? Well, now we got side conversations going on over there. So Yeah. Lynn McCurdy, longtime viewer, first time caller. I remember that with good old Rush Limbaugh. So I listened to him for a while, and then I didn't, and then I did, and then I didn't. But I don't want to go political, so we try to. So we model railroad and have hobbies so we can avoid talking about politics and life and stuff like that. My train, my whistle. Yep, Norman Corey. Nope, we're not storming out today, Lynn. I think we'll be able to get through this without a power outage out there. Uh, what Ellery Parsons? What engine is in your best interest for engines? Oh golly, what engine is my best? What am I most interested in for engines? I'm going to default still back to steam. I like the steamers. I've got a Malay up there, River Rossi Malay, that I'm hoping doesn't have gearbox problems because those will be interesting to watch. You know, everything turning and running on them quite a bit. The big boy, I was able to find new gearboxes for it. I think they're actually called a miter box because the drive shaft comes in and then it shoots out at a 90 degrees into the trucks. Uh, yeah, each brand new old miter box ended up being $50 on eBay, and I needed two of them. And the locomotive only cost me 110 to buy. So it's like, well, I guess we're not gonna be buying $50 miter boxes for River Rossi big boys. More good-looking women, Sharp Flat says. I should put up that one gal that was in Godzilla's hand on that movie, Fay Ray. Of course, now that I told you, I'm going to have to wait for a couple months before I use her. She was kind of a looker for an old 1930s movie. Frederick Purcell, have I done anything with the cabooses? No, I've got them. They're all wrapped back up right now. Some of them are very, very interesting. If I can get a bigger display, I want to use some of them for the road names of cabooses I don't have for road names on locomotives that I do have. Humanity Junction. I never know if it's Human City, Humanity. I've always never known how to say that. Heath out there. It took about a year of streaming weekly before I stopped getting nervous for. Oh, really? So I gotta go and a whole bunch more. Oh, mercy sakes. Northwest Short Lines, Carl Zeiss says replacement gears for the big boy. That would be nice if I could. Well, I need the miter boxes. I know they've got Northwest Short Lines has got a lot of gears for a lot of stuff. As soon as I run into something where I really need the gears, I'll give them a call and waste their time. Because right now, I don't want to just show up and kick tires and take up a salesman's time if I'm just looking around a little bit. Christopher Berger, the CB Train Nut, says he loves the live chat. I have a great personality. Yeah, you should see me in person. I'm pretty boring. So yeah, you should. Yeah, I'm not a dinner party kind of feller. Among my people now. So it's easy to talk because we're talking about cool stuff that we like. And it's tough to run into another train feller at a dinner party. Although I was out at a bar here. Well, go figure. This feller had train road name on his shirt. So I think it was North. I don't know what it was. So hey, are you guys rail fanners? Yep. Couple guys that yep. I go, are you also model railroaders too? Yep, absolutely we are. We're into the Lionel the O gauge stuff. Oh, we sat and we were getting ready to leave, and I wanted to belly up to the table and sit there with them, but they were with their gals, and I was with my gal, and I can only assume that the gals don't like it if us model railroad or train people seek each other out and then spend another 3 hours in a bar talking about stuff. So Victoria Lane Studios watching from Massachusetts. I probably said that wrong. Massachusetts. There's no noise in Illinois. I learned that one. I've had to edit out the sonnet a couple times because I love to say Illinois. That's how I said it when I played Monopoly. Illinois. I'm learning. You guys are keeping me right on track out there. So Lynn says I'm not boring. The Plumber 33. I don't really get a chance to run into train fellers out here. I know there's some. So John from Colorful Colorado. John calls it Colorful Colorado. One of the things I wanted to show is that John seen my old video on those Varney F3s that I did, and I couldn't find any decals for them. Now I've had 3 guys. I just got these here about a week and a half ago. John left me his phone number. I called him up. We yucked it up just a little bit. There's been two other people that sent me the decals for those. I write down everything that people send me, so that way I'll always know. And now I'm nervous, and I'm Eric out in Idaho. He's the one that always watches all the time. He found a decal set for the Burlington F3 and shipped it up to me. So after I ruined my first set, so yep, good to see you, John. Or that you're watching. Slide Cat Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. It's a small town in Montana. My first, yeah, King Kong. Oh yeah, King. It was King Kong, not Godzilla. Sam Reed. See, keep me on track. Fay Ray was in King Kong's hands. How do I feel about the one truck powered life likes? Mike Vass, you notice I've only done one of them so far. I've got a few other locomotives. I should probably do another video on it because there's some guys out there that's got them, and young modelers or guys just getting in might need to know how to do it. I was doing one of these little sweethearts right here, the Bachmann, and I had the trucks all redid on it. And then I got to the split gears, and then everything turned. This has been sitting up here on my shelf, taken apart for 3 months now. So, I'm going to try to do anything that I can get my hands on to show guys how to work on this stuff. But I don't really particularly want to run it. I might make a small oval circle and put two cars, a caboose, and a single truck lifelike, and donate the layout to a young modeler, just to get started, what we all started with. I think that a lot of guys ought to try doing that if they got the stuff that, well, then make a little layout for somebody, a nephew or a niece, because, you just can't go up to strange children and give them train layouts because society frowns on us for doing that. So Digitrax or NCE? Digitrax. That I used to, I must have used two different brand names. Digitrax probably doesn't make Tsunami. I can't remember specifics about, I don't know. Ellery Parsons, how many engines do you have to work? I've got 60 more in queue right now, waiting for a video to be made on them of all gauges. Lionel, Flyer, Marx, HO manufacturers, some from the 50s, 60s, tons. I've just got lots of them, and they just kind of keep coming and going all the time. Hello to Crime Alley Comics out there. A 2020 Vision, those pancake drive engines aren't great, but they get the job done. Yeah. I mean, it gets you into the hobby. If a person was to get into the hobby and had to drop $180 for a train line Walthers right now, it'd be a tough argument to try to win with your folks. Dad, I need $600 to model. No, you get a $50 old lifelike set or Bachmann set or Tyco set and get going off of that. You betcha. So Bruce Gordon says he tuned in from East Kentucky. Thank you for your kind words, Bruce. Not Gavin. Have I messed up with Z gauge? No, Lord, no. I haven't even seen one in real life for 40 years now, I guess 40 years. Nope, never ran into them. If I do, I'd pick one up. I got a couple N gauges that are in queue for getting rebuilt. One's the original Globe. No, dang it, I can't remember what it is. It's like a 1968 first time that they came out with this set kind of thing. So that's got a nice little bit of history to it. We need more companies to do starter. Jimmy Seaver says we need more companies to do starter sets. Bachmann is doing starter sets out there. I think Mahano, still might be doing starter sets. Atlas, maybe they're doing starter N gauge. Norman Corey wants to know what was my first locomotive. My first locomotive as a child was some stuff that my dad had purchased at the flea market. They were Lionel and Marx. Lionel stuff was his. Don't touch it. Don't even look at it very hard. Here's the Marx stuff. You can play with that. So I think it was probably a couple of them cast 666s. I loved them. I loved the noise they made, rattling, and the smoke machines worked on them. Smoking units worked on them. Good stuff. Bucket or N-gauge Jupiter. Oh, sure, Markland. No, no, I want to stomp on those things if I ever see it. I heard the HO Bachmann Jupiters are quite a bit better than the N-gauge ones. Ah. Carl, I don't believe that the Mahano, I don't think so. I think they're still kicking stuff out. I, I think they are. I think I did research on them and they're still over there doing their thing. So Mahano, Ray Boble says they went to MRC. Okay. Yeah, then here Finro says Mahano still exists in Europe. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mahano was still around. Sounds like PBL out there. We got to go to the garage sale that his wife's going to have once he passes, because she's gonna put all his stuff up for dirt cheap. I tell my little lady exactly how much I spent for all this stuff, each individual piece. If it's excessive, I tell her, because I don't want her giving it away to some slickster who might end up coming by and purchasing everything for $1,000. Probably couldn't even get that. I thought about, because I got these tags on the back of everything. Which part can you? If I go all the way over here, I make these tags like this so that I know what it is, what year it came out, the model number that it is, and then on the back I'm going to start putting a price tag of how much I spent for it, just so I remember how much I paid for it. So when you see a really good deal, you can go, "Oh, I should have waited a little longer." Markland, thank you very much. I'm going to stud Jupiter's back. That was another one that was brought into me to work on, and I worked on it and then bought another one off of eBay to try to salvage the parts off of it. And it never, even that one was junk to work on. So it was a tough one, definitely a tough one. So they run playing. Slag Cat Chesapeake in Ohio said you're losing your patience. Flies out the window when you're working on your O gauge locomotives. Ah, that's too bad. So those are a little bit bigger. And I see that they've got, I guess, reproduction reversing units for Lionels. And I think Marx too. So if you get a reversing unit and if you got the time, order one in and then just solder it in instead of trying to take them apart and work on them. That's where most of the frustration for me comes from, was just those dang reversing units. Atlas. Yeah, that Dave Hoover. That Atlas is the N-gauge starter set. That's the name that I couldn't remember at the time. It's from 1968. That's the one that's in queue getting ready to get going. On Z gauge, James Cotter. No, I haven't ran into any Z gauges. If I do, I'd probably pick one up. But currently, I haven't seen any in any of the secondhand stores or the flea market or the hobby shops here in town. I don't want to be. Lynn doesn't want to be reminded how much you spent. That RV that I posted up, the Class B from 1980. It's a Georgie boy. That's going to be a fun one to travel around and go to train shows with, because you got the camper and the toilet, so when you're going down the road, you don't have to stop for the little lady to use the facilities. So I've been spending kind of a lot of time working on that, shooting some video footage of that for the other channel, Ron's Classic RVs. So that one's kind of taking me a little bit away there too. Yeah, races at those S gauges with the reversing units, they can be a pain. Yep, you betcha they sure can. Yep. So I see all the side things over there have gone into chatting amongst the people out there. Everybody knows everybody. Regis down there in South America, in Brazil, he's out there and he says, well, he wanted to see what that Lynn had brought up over here to me. So some of these things, this is a box of just an absolute large amount of stuff in it. And Lynn showed me, he says, I want to show you, this here's the Dream Puff right here. This is the really nice one. This one's made in Yugoslavia, so obviously this is going to be a Mahano, and looks like it. Well, yeah, it's a 282 in the Great Northern Railway, but these lights are just not working like this, is it? What can a guy do? Turn this one up, turn this up. I don't know. Show it underneath here. Yeah. So we got that Mahano coming up. And then there's boxes of this. Well, this is an Athearn because of the thing is and it's got the flywheels on it. So there's quite a few F units of Athearns, blue boxes in there. And Regis had talked about wanting me to do a video about how to super tune the old blue box Athearns. That's something that the guys used to do in the old days, polishing the gears and polishing the armatures and polishing the axle shafts and putting toothpaste in the gears and running it through there to get the gears to be a little more quieter. Regis had mentioned a lot of how to do it. And I thought, that's going to make that would make a great video. There's just no items for sale on eBay. Currently, right now, I do not have anything available on the eBay. I don't have an eBay store. I'm just an eBay seller called Classic Model Trains. There's a way you can save the seller. So when I do post something, if you want to purchase the stuff, you won't have to search around for it. I'm hoping in September I'll have some more stuff that I can put up there on the store to sell, make ready to buy more stuff to show stuff on things. Landlock Beach Bomb, thank you very much. What you doing? This locomotive here, after I got done doing that Atlas, the one that I'd found in that secondhand store, and the pure joy of working on that Atlas was amazing. And when Lynn brought this big box of stuff over, it had the early Atlas box, and I'm just, there's no way, I couldn't believe it. And I get into the thing, and it's all donated, it's fine. But then when I got underneath of it, it ends up being a lifelike. You can see the numbers right there. So nice looking unit. This might come out. Yeah, this is a single truck power truck. So this one right here would be a great one to do for a repair for a lifelike single motor. And it's a little newer than that last one I did. So maybe it'll turn out nicer. It won't be so loud and noisy, is what I'm hoping for. There was a couple more steamers in there that I thought was just Steve, Hank. Yeah. I'm going to go with Hank Klaus. It sounds German. Says he loves watching the videos. Thank you so much for your kind words. Oh, this one here. That's going to be a great little steamer to work on. It's heavy, very, very heavy. And I can't even see what it says on the bottom of it. I see the word new. It says new one model. New one model from Tokyo, Japan. Maybe it's heavy because it's brass. You guys ever seen anything? Oh, no, it got dark. Can't do anything. Dang it. No road name on it. But yeah, heavy. That'll be a great one. I got a couple of locomotives from the UK market. European market. I know nothing about stuff over there. What's the difference between Britain and England? What's the European Union? I need to Google some stuff. I feel so bad. Yeah. Yep. Hello, Sly Cat. Cincinnati's from Lynn McCurdy. Yeah, that's an all-metal one. There's even a metal F3 unit in here I couldn't believe. These guys were sitting on top. These are... Oh, this is another Mahano one made in Yugoslavia, and it's got the DCC decoder in it. There's a powered and an unpowered in there. Pretty neat. There's over 75 locomotives in here, I would guess. It'd be very tough to pull them all out and everything. I have a Jupiter that needs a drive shaft. The motor's in the tender, and the drive shaft goes to the locomotive. Oh, I did have a spare drive shaft for you, but then I gave it back to the gal because I didn't need any more. Markland wants to know if we have any more balloons tied to my front gate. No. I thought it was initially that Chinese balloon that was flying over Montana. So Landlocked Beach Bum says, I like Mahano. It's a little higher. It's a starter set. Some of them are probably high end that I have never ran into, but I've never ran into a broken gear on one yet. So they're definitely one of my favorites for sure. I wished I could. Oh, this This little GP7 right here, I think this is one of those aftermarket bodies that went on Athens or something like that because it's look how narrow it is. It's prototypically the right size. Some guy sent me one of these bodies up before for something, so this is neat. But then I think in order to get it to go on an Athearn, you got to put a upgraded can motor in it to get this body to fit on an Athearn because of the small size of it all. It's German, Steve Heinklaus. So I just think Santa Claus. Claus? Hand claws. That works for me. Okay. We worked through it. The plumber's taken off. Bev Bell body, Rustin Tampa one. Could be. I don't see any words in it whatsoever. Road name 1186 with the Great Northern. Usually what I do if I don't know what they are, because I can't remember every body style. I go to the eBay and I'll type in Great Northern 1186 HO scale. And then if there's some for sale, they'll pop up and then you can go, oh, and then you get a lot of information like that from it. I keep looking at myself instead of up at the camera where I'm supposed to be looking. Yeah, that is an AHM GP18. Okay. I'll, I'll buy that. From the dust on the top of it. Glenn Gordon likes the antique video walkthroughs. Okay. My brother bought the 773. I just seen some raw footage when I was looking at some videos. I went down there, Glenn, with the money in my pocket 3 weeks too late. So when I asked that store owner, what it is one of my videos had a Lionel 773, correct numbered 1950 Hudson, one of the most collectible steamers, one of the most collectibles from Lionel. And the secondhand store wanted $1,200 for it. Little bit beat up, there's some marks on it. And I kept going in, but every time I go in, I'd film the dang thing. And sure enough, it only took a little bit of time for somebody to go, hey, there's a 773 up at that antique store in Billings. If you're going to go in there, pick that up for me. And it looks like Glenn Gordon picked it up for his brother. And it runs very well. Yeah, I knew it. I was 2 to 3 weeks late, Glenn. And I asked that store owner too, hey, the guy that bought that locomotive, did he find out about it from me? Now I can't wait to go in there and tell him the truth. Sink pest. So yeah, they have some work on it. It looks great. What was the anguish you got while fixing a locomotive? Ted Newver. Well, I haven't thrown it against the wall yet and shattered it into a million pieces. I used to do that as a child. I did that to a Walther's water tower kit, trying to glue those little wires on that go there, and it just had to walk away a couple times on them. Probably mainly with intermittent opens. We'll run, stop, run, stop, run, stop, even after you've cleaned it up and figured it out. I can't remember which one it is. There's been a lot that I've done. But I've never destroyed one because I couldn't fix it, or I've never threw it away. Even that N gauge Jupiter got completely reassembled and returned to the gal, and I just said, "It's a shelf queen. It's a Bachmann. That's all we're going to be able to do for it." Do I know about the John's Trains? Want to know about the Conrail steamers Mahano made in the 80s? I do not. I got actually a lot of Mahano steamers here, like 2 or 3 of them now. I do not know anything about those. Now if I run into one though, I go, hey, somebody said something about that. And because I can't remember names very good. I'm terrible names. I'll have to try to pick one up. Uh-oh. Finro says that those are cursed. What's your favorite road name, and do you still work at the hobby store? Daryl C out there. I do not work at the hobby store. His attention to detail and mine were different. And I did not want to have my brand associated with his brand. So I wish him all the luck. Although I've heard through the grapevine that the store is going to be closing down and moving to the Bitterroot Valley, which is out in Missoula, I guess. So we're actually going to lose the HO hobby shop here in town that's been in town for 45 years, 50 years. It was been forever. And then the new kid comes in and now we're not going to have one anymore. So perhaps the other hobby store, which is called Central Hobbies, which mainly focuses on O gauge, G gauge, S gauge. I'm hoping that Al down there will go into HO and maybe pick up the void that's going to eventually show up from losing that. My favorite road name, I model Union Pacific here. No specific reason. I didn't grow up around it. I guess I just picked one and that's it. So Union Pacific is what I model. It's made by AHM. Dave Hoover says that one's an AHM. All right, well then I got an AHM one. Harrison Ross. I have a 50s HO scale steamer by Saki. Bakelite. Oh my goodness. Have you ever worked on one? I watch all your videos, but I can't remember what you have. The only Bakelite I've ever worked on was the transformer cover for that Lionel ZW. Found that I was actually able to glue it with CA glue, and it held really well. I didn't know that they made shells out of Bakelite, but that's interesting to see. So thanks for that bit of information there. Yeah, Lynn, Bitterroot Valley, they'll be out there. Be specific, go Union Pacific. Can you do a video about Athearn rubber band drive locomotives? Steven Martinez, I did one of those already. It's about the 5th or 6th video I've ever made. It's a blue and gray colored one. It's an entire Athearn set from the 50s. It's the original set, and it's got the rubber band drive motors on it. So you got to go back through my playlist into the early days and you'll see it. Early 50s rubber band drive, high F, that's in the title there. There's a feller that says hello from Brazil, and there is absolutely no way I'm ever going to get that. Modelismo Ferrio model. I'm sorry, I blew that one. But hello back from Billings, Montana, Brazil. So yeah, I do Southern Railway, and yep, Amy, yep. Lots of things going on there. These here, what's in case you got? It's hard to keep up with all the things that are scrolling along by the side. Here's another F unit from Linz and Athearn with the flywheel drives in it. Tons of these. I bet you I got a stack of the F Santa Fe F units of all manufacturers, of course. They're like the most common one out there. They must have made millions and millions and millions of these Santa Fe F units for all manufacturers. This one's super heavy. I'm beginning to wonder if it might be a super power because of the extra weights. Yep, it is. This is what makes it one more better, is because it puts this extra weight in there so it can pull a little bit harder. That's the difference between the Athearn and they got a name for it. Super power, super torque, or something like that. I got a video of one of those coming up. Rustin Tampa says, I'm doing a pretty dang good job out there. Thank you very much, sir. So, Longview Kelso models the Great Northern Santa Fe BNSF Rio Grande. Kind of sounds like the Midwesty kind of stuff out there. Brett Day, do I have a video about my control panel and electrical gauges? Yes, I do. It's within the first 12 videos. I think it might be one of the first 4th, where I show how I wired in the gauges and the switches to my transformer supply. So yep, there's a video out there. Ray Boble, you have a good night, sir. Thanks for popping in. Bye-bye. I'm going to send this locomotive to Bachmann and confirm that I'm just my eBay page name, Daniel Dearborn, Classic Model Trains. AV Savannah Valley Railroad, good evening to you. CB Train Nut, have a good evening. Lynn McGurdy, with Ron, said I'd bring Joe. Oh, okay. I thought he was getting ready to take off. There was even a, look at this little dreamboat right here. I believe this is a Bachmann DCC. Oh yeah, it's even got sound on the bottom right there. Now this will be an interesting one to get inside of and root around. I want to see how it works, what makes it tick. Because I got one Tyco trolley from the 60s, but this will be an interesting one to open up and work on. The other thing I want to show off here, Dennis out there, he's up there in Iron Gate. I don't even know what that says. He's up over there. I don't. I can't read the handwriting. Dennis, you know who you are. He sent in a couple of these things right here, plus a letter. The old simple, very starter set Marx stuff. This one is actually a DC powered locomotive because I can't get it up there close enough to you to see it in there. But there's just the tiniest little motor. This one ran on batteries. That's what I should have said. Battery powered, not DC powered. They're all DC powered. This one's a little bit newer. This one is a track. It might have been a track pickup. So I like these old ones because when you repaint them, if I can successfully do a repaint job without hitting it on the ground or having mixed match paint work, these will look gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then the guy was nice enough to send me a money clip and then even put some money in it so that I knew what it was. So this came a while back ago. Thanks so much, Dennis. What have I missed out there? Is this Spectrum? Advanced selecting a layout and track selection. Steven Handklaus, can you do a video about advice on selecting a layout? Oh man, that's like giving you advice on what kind of girl to date. It's like it's what you like. Redheads, blondes. No, basically what you got to do is you got to find a track plan that will fit in your space requirements. And there's a lot of give and take because everybody wants to have a 100-foot long by 65-foot L shape walk around 5 levels and this and that. And that's for the guys that have been doing it for a long time. You got to get some beginner layouts out first. Do an oval and then do a figure 8 on the inside of it that can attach to the out part of it, and then do an L shape, and then do a folded dog bone. There's just no way a guy can give any advice on what kind of a shape of a layout. Switching, which means you just go back and forth on it, and you switch cars, or you do switching puzzles, or watch the thing chase its tail, chase the caboose. So many options out there. I Google HO scale train layouts. You can get pictures for free. You can look at them and then you can go, oh, I like this part of this one. I like this part of this one. And then incorporate all the best parts into one. That's kind of what I did with this point-to-point / switching layout, switching over here, point-to-point across the front and back of it. Stephen Schumbach, yes, thank you for your kind words. And also my RV channel is up and running. It's called Ron's Classic RVs. It used to be called Cousin Ron, CUZ', because that was the name of the bar that I had out in North Dakota. It was called Cousin Ron's Saloon and Steakhouse. We called it Cousin Ron because being that my family's from North Dakota and the area that we were at, I had like 300 first, second, and third cousins out there. Apparently, the barn dances back in the day, they didn't go too far away, the different families. They all had lots of kids, and then the barn dance, and then so everybody, they're related, but they're not, don't give me no first cousin loving going on there. Okay. You know what I mean? We're cousins, but they're all far enough apart that we don't got no weirdos in the family, What do your 2 dogs have to say when you give them a folded? I don't know. They like dog. They bury them, Markland. They bury bones out in the yard. They ruin all the good work I've been doing trying to make the yard look pretty. So I have to take their bones away because they keep digging holes in it. 111 are watching, 87 thumbs up. Thank you for that information, Lynn. Jim E. He's out there from Bridgewater, Ma. Is that Massachusetts? Massachusetts. I don't say that word very much, so I know I've blown it. Massachusetts. Surf PBR martinis. PBR's damn good beer. I see why Granddaddy, and if my dad was a beer drinker, would drink it. It's delicious because it has this thing in it called flavor. All this light beer that's out there right now, I don't understand how people can drink that stuff because it's like that one commercial when it was raining out and guys are running outside going, it's raining beer. And, they're catching it in bowls because that's kind of what the light beer tastes like. I like the thicker stuff. And my gut, if you ever see a side view, it shows. Yeah. So there was a brass F unit in here. And I just, there's another one of them super weight Atherns. So I got a powered AA set right there. That's going to be super great. New York Central 9314. I do not know what kind of, I'd have to Google this. I don't have it on top of my head. What brand of locomotive this is, or what manufacturer it is. Southern Pacific. See, these came from Lynn McCurdy, donated to the channel. Athern on there. It's got the good axles in it, but it's got the, it doesn't look like it's got the sintered wheels. This actually kind of looks like an SD45, maybe. It's a shot of whiskey in your Pabst. Oh, well, Irish car bombs, yeah. What would you give trying to repair an engine they don't know much about? Matthew Bellsfield. No, that wasn't asked. What advice would you give someone trying to repair an engine they don't know much about? Go to YouTube and type in how to repair that locomotive. And there's a lot of guys out there that do this. I'm told that I've got one of the better personalities out of them all, I guess. So I guess that's a good thing for me. But I think YouTube should show a guy how to work on that. A shot of whiskey in your Pabst whiskey. Oh. So yeah, sorry, it looks like an Athern. Got to go around. Great show, my friend. Crime Alley Comics. Thanks for stopping in. Model Railroad SD7, SD9. This one. It's got. Well, I don't know. I got to Google them. That's why I got to write down what they are when they're up there on the wall, because I look at it and it's just not like remembering your first girlfriend that you kissed or something like that. I can forget. I can forget. Line when they have something give it like you. Sam Reed says they put the lime wedge in it to give it some flavor. Jim E, thanks for your kind words. I don't know how to say your name. Ferio Modelismo. Glad I was able to help you out with your Mantua locomotive. That's kind of the goal of the whole thing, is get the knowledge, spread it around, and I get to meet modelers from all over the world, which has just been awesome. Awesome. I like the fact that Google has got the translate on it. So when guys that live in Brazil, who I found out don't speak Spanish, I thought it's something different. I can take the words and put it into the Google machine, and it switches it out into English, and we can chat back and forth. And it's just a good time. It's just a great time to be alive right now. I'm telling you. Sort of a slap. Lynn, you're terrible. Recovering from the slap. A lot of these body styles right here, the FM, I got, it's not up there anymore. I can't even. So yes, those ones. Some starter set ones. I'm not even halfway through one of the boxes here yet. So much stuff. Good stuff. Tyco sets you have. Are there any Tyco sets you want but have never been able to find? Jody Smith. I'm not actually collecting sets. I started collecting sets and I thought I'd have them all. And then I realized how many sets are out there and how they just replicate using the exact same cars. So what I'm doing is trying to collect every engine and every caboose that they've ever made. And then I only have to have like 100 cars, maybe 150 if you want to include the red box stuff. And then I can make up any set that I want to. That's kind of the goal that I'm doing. The rare cars, Tyco has a lot of rare cars that never showed up in catalogs that would be interesting to get. But you know, the cars will go 30, 50, $100 for some of them. Some of the locomotives out there, $250 for a C430, but it's got that particular road name that's very rare. So I'm kind of collecting every set, but I'm not collecting every set. I'm going to have the ability to build every set at a whim if I so desired. Richie Wingo from Georgia. Hello, Richie. Carl Weisel, Petticoat Junction set. Yes, that would be neat to have that one. Same cars, same locomotive, just they put a different little bit of paint job on it. But yep, that one. They also make a Walt Disney set. that looks just like same cars as the Petticoat Junction, but it's branded for Walt Disney. I've seen that on the eBay. And I always find these when I'm broke, just broke. And you're like, oh man, it's 55 bucks. Oh, I can't. Oh, I hate that frustration. Yeah, Steven, oh, Hanklaus. I've seen some Sam's trains. I believe he's out in Europe. And I've seen SMT mainline. That's kind of what I got to say. SMT mainline would be the reason, kind of why I got into this. I was looking to make YouTube videos on something. I was kind of already into trains. I stumbled upon one of his videos, and I couldn't believe the numbers that he was getting for doing the repair videos. And I'm just like, oh, there, yeah. And I'm not a painter. Who's out there that does the Oh, he teaches you how to do, painting and stuff. Those seaside, views. Let's see the names that I can't quite remember. Just I don't know enough about that. I don't know enough about that, but I do know about, Jason Jensen trains. Yeah, that guy can paint, unbelievable. But I'm just really good at fixing things, so I thought, well, this is a great way to go. So yeah, I've seen those guys for sure. Yeah, thanks. He says that I've got a better personality. Thanks, Stephen. Uh, the, uh, Rustin Tampa's taking off. Thanks for popping in. Yep, John Maley dropped a small part on the floor. Yeah, yeah. If we were smart, we'd vacuum the floor first before we start working on it. But we're like, we're men. We're not going to drop a part again this time. And sure, and bing. And I remember when I was younger, you could listen for it, and you could kind of tell what part of the room it fell in. And now it's like, oh no, now, ugh, dang it. This is really tough for me because when I'm not on the YouTube, I cuss like a sailor. I, I'm I could I can make a whore blush. And it is super hard for me to make sure I don't. I might have dropped a couple F bombs already, didn't even know it because I thought they're like a conjunction, aren't they? They just hook words and phrases together. Conjunction, junction. What? Oh, Matthew Bellsfield. I've been collecting trains for about 4 years now. This go around. Of course, when I was a kid, I had them up until 10th grade, and then motorcycles and go-karts and remote control airplanes. I'd really like to say girls, but girls don't really want to hang out with guys that play with airplanes and go-karts and stuff. So you get a little older and get into cars, and then you go through that. So the second time around, only about 4 years. Personality comes with age, Norman tells me. So, oh, those Carl Weisel, those Katie coupler springs. I gave up on doing the number fives. After I found out they got whisker couplers out there, I would even look back or whatever the original Katie's were. No, put a number five in everything, fits everything. That was probably the maddest I've ever been. That one feller asked me that when I first got those E6 units, them P2Ks, and I was trying to put them stupid coupler conversions on. This is way year and a half before the channel was even around. I went so insane putting those on. Oh my god, it's yeah, just unbelievable. Yep. Where I wear sling blade glasses and sideboards on my bench for trainers. What is size sling blade glasses? What are those? Are they oh, these are handy, but I got to use that visor with the extra ones on there. Adjectives, they're not conjunctions. Glenn Gordon, he paid good attention in English class. I always got D's. I got D's in English. They're adjectives. Okay. Any good steam engine in N scale you can remake around the 1940s there. Richie Wingo, I cannot. 1940s N gauge stuff, rare. I'm going to say rare, super rare. Best I can ever tell. Atlas was the first one that was importing N gauge in the 60s under their own name. So they were coming from the European market. So I'm going to have to say, Riverossi or Mahano Tanaka. Some guy texted me today how to say that. The full name, Mahano Tanaka, something. I don't know of any 40s stuff at all. Really thick. Schoolhouse Rock, Marklands 8. Yes, I love that. So CSX modeler, I'm Asian. Okay, that works. You can be whatever. from wherever. We're open. Model railroaders, except for the except for the rivet counters. They're a little more. They got a club that's a little tighter to get into. They're not open with their arms like this saying, "Bring to me. You're tired. You're ragged. You're hungry. You're poor. You're starved." Whatever's at the bottom of the lady with the thing in the air. Just they're a little more reclusive. Carl Weisel says BLI makes good N-scale steam with sound. Yeah, this gentleman was wanting to know one from the 40s. N-scale steam locomotives from the 40s. I don't even know if they had them back in the 40s. I know HO was brand new on the market trying to cut its teeth, but I don't know about N at all. Longview and Kelso Railroad. Hi at Brian Rockefeller Railfan. I don't know if you're saying hi to me or if you're saying hi to Brian Rock Railfan, or because the way this thing over here works. Lazy Fish Keeper, Heidi Ho. Yep, yep. There were some of these things. I keep trying to find that brass F unit. Maybe you guys might know who made it. I ain't never seen that parts. This is the first This is the first piece of brass. Oh, here's another one. Here, a General. Yeah, W and A. Oh, Virginia and Truckee Railroad right there. First time I ever said that, I said it was Virginia and Tennessee. And it didn't take very long for some people to get me straightened right out. Virginia and Truckee Railroad. This little general right here, Dusty, of course. And I absolutely cannot tell who makes it. Nope, still have nothing. Nothing. I can't tell. I don't know who made this one. This is what it looks like. This is what the bottom of it looks like. There's guys out there that are so good they can just tell from looking at the bottom who made that. This one, I don't know. And it is a Genoa, Virginia and Truckee Railroad. Genoa. Beautiful one. That's definitely coming up for a restoration video for sure. Bill says, hello from Bradenton, Florida. I'm trying to model gearing up for World War II with steam. Don't know what types ran in the 40s from Richie Wingo. This is another great looking Southern. There's hand railings in here. And I don't want to spill it. Beautiful. I mean, this one's really, really, really nice right here. Athearn blue box. But the hand railings are loosey-goosey in there because they fell out of this for sure. Southern. Oh, more stuff's falling out. I love those 440 Bachmann. I don't. Hillary loves the 440 Bachmanns. Richie Wingo, they ran a lot of stuff. A lot of people were running a lot of things during World War II. You can Google what type of American steam locomotives were running during World War II, and you can get more than a guy could ever dream about having for information. Yeah, there's a lot out there. The Google machine is always a good place to start on things. Oh, there it is. This Great Northern F unit, and I gotta get light in there. Is that light? That's not showing up. That's brass. That is a brass unit right there. So that's pretty cool. It's even got a screen top on it. You can see, look at that right there. That's neat. My first brass. Oh, look, and these back here, they're not called bellows. Apparently I blew that on my E unit. Diaphragms. But I don't think of diaphragms like on something on it. They're the thing that goes, for no, you know what I mean. Yeah. Yep, that's what I've been looking for. Gorgeous. Now I got a single piece of brass. I don't know what chassis it goes on. You don't see any mounts on the bottoms here for stuff. I guess and this is what the bottom of it looks like if I can get the light just right. Yeah. So, what do you do? Frederick Parcell. Hey, Ron, I'm running out of gas. I got 9 years on you. Thanks, Frederick, for popping in. Lewis Davis. I'm new to your clips. I really enjoy the presentation. You do keep up the good work. Looking forward for your fell off. So thank you guys so much. Nice, kind words out there from everybody. Next time I do this, I'm going to try to get a at least 2 camera setup. I'll have to talk to Ray and see how he does it. I know it can be done with some hardware, some extra cameras, and using StreamYard. And then I can highlight these little things and do stuff like that. So that's what I know. This was my learning curve doing this. It's neat to see all you guys talking about stuff. And then there's also side conversations going on over here on the side when I'm reading them over there. And it's just, yeah, you like a nice piece of brass. Carl Weisel says it's likely Tenshoto. Yeah, there's nothing on the inside of it that would say what it is. But yeah, Japanese imports for sure. Looks like the headlight holder was even soldered inside up there. Wow, that's just crazy. Going to be successful in bringing. Jody Smith. I don't. Lionel's never succeeded in bringing HO back. Nobody, even HO guys don't want Lionel HO stuff. So bye. Hey Ron, my 1929 Marx seized again. G&A scale model apprentice. I don't know. I don't know an 1829. I don't have that number right off the top of my head. Why is it seized up? Something's going wrong. Armature and the brushes dirty. Are they oil fouled? Something like that. Grease hard on it. The E unit isn't getting juice all the way through. You need to get a digital voltmeter and measure voltage at the brushes. Make sure it's getting voltage and that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Ron, what kind of trees do you use? Ken Cole, trees. I go to the Hobby Lobby and I buy those ones that are on the shelf for $8. And I go there when I'm moneyed up so I can put down like $50 at once. And they just pop out and you pop the little base on them. Then I use a little bit of plumber's putty on the bottom of it, just the size of a little booger. And then you stick it on the table and it'll hold it. But if you need to move it, you can pick it up, carry it away. So no, nothing special. Nothing special. Lynn McCurdy says, I did a great. You did a first-rate job tonight. Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for popping in. He's going to go over and check out another channel. I love when you clean motors and jewelry cleaner. Papa John trains. I know some guys told me about that technique and I'm just like, you got to be insane. Why wouldn't it short out? So I did it and I did it live right with you guys. Well, it wasn't live, but the first time I did it is videoed and and I couldn't believe it. It was just the coolest way to clean those sealed up MU2s or even to seal up a sealed up can motor to clean them up. So David Carolus, thank you for your kind words. I'm sorry I can't get your name. Carolus. I'm hoping I'm close. Lionel messed up by having Bachmann make the HL skill training. Yes, Norman Carey, I believe. Yeah, they had nice stuff when it was Athern. Bachmann. I got a Bachmann daylight up there. No, there. Can't see it. Broken axle, broken gears. Can't do nothing with it. To Mattel, I think Jody Smith, I think so. Tyco would still be around today if they wouldn't have sold all that stuff and went in a different direction. So still, I think Tyco was the largest producer, and I think they put out more stuff than Lionel ever dreamed of doing. So not, since they quit, Lionel's still going and they're making new stuff and Tyco ain't. But if you go from Tyco and, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to start any fights with nobody now, okay? Just everybody... Tyco put out a lot of stuff, more than Bachmann and Lifelike dreamed about, and Atlas and stuff like that. So, yep. Dave Hoover says the Union Pacific big boys are the best. Caboose 1973. Channel 1, and there's a Channel 2. For you rail fanners out there, Dave Hoover puts out a lot of rail fanning shorts. Tells me that he's got 2 channels because his first channel got full. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Apparently you can you're only allowed to load so many videos up and then your channels, but they're not long. They're like a minute, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. And he goes, yep, that's why I've got Channel 1 and Channel 2, Caboose 1973. Finro, too much competition. There's a lot of HO stuff going out there. B&O short line and repair. Thanks for popping in. It's possible to 3D print replacement gears. Is it possible? Yes, I believe it is. I have not researched it 100% yet. I know there's guys out there doing it. I know it takes a specific kind of resin. It's got to be hard enough to handle the friction. I'm going to kind of try to work into that. Is there a brand you would prefer to not fix? Matthew Bellsfield. Bachmann. I fixed a couple Bachmann broken axle joiners with a lot of luck and patience. Yes, Norman Corey, yes. I recommend to you is named Jawtooth. Jody Smith says there's a railfan channel called Jawtooth. I don't railfan. When I used to work as a diesel mechanic, I never stood on the highway and watched semis drive down the road. So, nothing wrong with railfanning. Some guys really dig it. And I love the guys that railfan and they do steam railfan. And, because then I'd never get a chance to see some of that stuff. It's amazing. Camera's up there. Look up there. I'm looking at a piece of poo on the screen, I guess. Yeah, I don't have that time to railfan. Is there just a great team? Always happy to see your vids. Appreciate how you do the videos, learning as you go. What was that? That's the name of the channel. What was that? That's a great name, to tell you the truth. It really is. Yeah, I am actually learning as I go. A lot of times with these locomotives, I'm opening it up for the very first time. It's probably why it takes me so long to shoot the videos. There's a lot of me scratching my head trying to figure it out, and then I got to edit all that out of there. But if I was to do it again, then it'd go faster for me on the production end of it, and I could probably crank them out quicker. But how many times can you see a guy rebuild a Tyco F unit? 2 times. That's it. And then 3. You can do it for the MU1, which they didn't put it in. You can do it for the MU2, and you can do it for the Power Torque, the Leaning Tower of Power. And then I've covered all the motors that could ever be in a Tyco. So your first live stream is success run, and you don't have to read. Read what? What I need to do is I need to get that program where I could bring up the ones I'm talking about on the screen. So that way, you know who I'm talking to. I have to read out loud because if I was just sitting there going like this, then you wouldn't know what I'm doing. I just read that Lynn's going to leave. So Lynn McCurdy in the High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club, thank you so much for popping in. Having a good time. I use an iPhone 8 and I airdrop it into my iMac all-in-one computer that's the size of a flat screen TV, Chrysler Slant 6. And it's quick and fast, and that's what I used to shoot with. I've tried digital full-frame cameras, digital full-frame video cameras, and pulling the card out and converting the video file and doing this and doing that. What a hassle. But I can't make creative-looking videos with an iPhone. You can't pull focus. You can't adjust the aperture and get the and stuff. And so I keep trying to work with the digital full frame stuff and make it look kind of artsy fartsy right now. Quick and simple. Chad Tremmel, your channel is great. Thank you very much. Thank you for getting me back into the hobby and inspiring me to repair my own locomotives. Yes, that's what it's all about. I'm doing what I can to grow the hobby. That's what we need to think every day. That the hobby's not really dying. The guys that are in it have been in it a long time. And there's, it's not something that like 22-year-olds do nowadays, but they can. They definitely can. All you got to do is get that spark going. Give them a 4x6 piece of plywood, 4x8 piece of plywood, your brass track, your starter transformer that you had, a couple of your starter trains, and get them started. That's how we all started, no matter what age we're at. Just try to promote the hobby. Oh, no. Lynn, you're killing me. What about the Lionel caboose that you got on your adventure? Raymond Butterball. About that Lionel. Oh, the gray one, that's smoker? Oh, no, that it's right there. Am I pointing at the right one? Maybe not. Maybe it's over. There it is, right there. That Lionel smoker. That thing is, if that's one you're talking about, it's awesome. It's got a repair video that's going to be coming up on it. You're probably here in the fall when I get more time to sit down and do it. ELSDP 45 just showed up from Northeastern Ohio. I don't know if in Amarillo, but God bless Amarillo. Keep me out of the bar. Ellery Parsons. Well, it keeps him out of the bar. I still make time for the beers. I'm sorry. It's like my reward for the day. I don't drink beer and work. So I'll work and then drink beer. And I don't do anything else while I'm drinking beer. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I gotta find the Tyco Bicentennial F units. Oh yeah, some of those F units were pretty bad out there, Jody. And you're doing Steven, thank you so much for your kind words. Han Han Claus. Not that everyone does that. Okay. We are pushed up at an hour and 30 minutes right now. I think I'm going to pull the plug and I don't know what happens next. I think it'll always just be up, or maybe I have to do something to it to then turn it into a normal video. But this was a blast. I can't believe that I've actually kind of managed to talk nonstop for an hour and 30 minutes. I didn't stop for any Mountain Dew, any water, a smoke, a beer, or even a bathroom break. So I guess I did kind of good all around with the whole thing. So not that everyone does that. Yeah. I've had fun too. Can't wait to do this again. Dennis Dew, thank you so much, sir. I'm going to sign off. Thank all you guys out there that support me right now. I think we got up to 106 watching at one time, got 109 thumbs up. So this has been a blast. I'm definitely going to explore this avenue some more. So good night to all y'all out there. I'll let this kind of kick around a little bit so all the people that are chatting with each other on the chat can say good night to everybody. And we'll go from there. Markland, thanks. Good night. Rails of Western Washington, good night. Thank you so much for popping in. Enrique Morales, thanks that you pronounced my name correctly. All right, Enrique. Dave, good show, Ron. Love the vids. Thank you. Jody Smith, thanks. Dennis Dew, thanks. Glenn Gordon, thank you. Ratsbird, thank you for watching. Lynn, thank you for watching. Papa John's Trains, thank you. Carl Weisel, thank you for watching. Finro, thank you. Martin, good night to you again. Mr. Juarez, good night. Matthew Bellsfield, thanks for watching. Good night to you, sir. The Creative Mind, great. Thank you so much. Good night. Train Addict, good night to you. Not Gavin, good night. Uh, I've enjoyed chatting, and hopefully I got a couple of your questions answered. Stephen Heinklaus, good night. Later. Ian Farrell, good night. Longview and Kelso, good evening to you. Dusty, first timer live watching. This is my first time too. So Dusty, thanks for popping in. A 2020 Vision, good night. Bye bye. Raymond Butterbaugh, good night to you. Rich Pest Check, live chat was great. Thank you very, very much. Longview and Kelso Railroad, good night to you. Thanks for stopping in. Nathan Five Chime, I love that name. When I seen that, I'm like, that's a great name. Thank you for your kind words. Good night to you, sir. JDP doing stuff. Who's the classic model tonight? I don't know. I guess I could have printed off one. I don't know how to bring anything in. Sam Reed, thank you for your kind words. Good night to you. See you next time. Longview and Kelso Railroad, thank you. Good night to you. Gadget Clerk, thank you for your kind words. Steve Gerber, thank you. Good night to you, sir. Greg Goldman, you are welcome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Brent Podall, good night from North Dakota. I came from the Jamestown and the Ypsilanti area out there. North Dakota knows how to put the wintertime on, I'll tell you. Cold. Militia Man 71. Glad that I was able to help out. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thanks for watching this live stream tonight. Twisted MacGyver's Trains. Good night to you, sir. PLB, have a good night. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye, everybody. Steve.